So one of the first things we need to do when we're going to update a zero-off head unit is to get the serial number for that head unit. So as I sit here in the Mastercraft, to find my head unit serial number, I'm going to press menu button. I'm going to go to the diagnostics option right here. Then I have 4 options. I'm looking for the 3 event diagnostics right there. And you can see it brings me to this page. And right here at the very top is the zero-off serial number 001513. With that serial number, if you're a consumer at home, you can go on to the zero-off website, which is zerogps.com. You can go to, I believe it's software upgrades. Right now we have version S on there, and as you go through, you'll need to put in that zero-off serial number for your head unit to get a password specific to your head unit so that you can do the upgrade. If you are a dealer or a service tech as well, you'll need this serial number if you're going to buy this for your customer. And same thing, you can go to that zerogps.com, the software upgrades, and you'll put in the customer's boat information, and that serial number will be needed. Okay, just in case anybody here watching the tutorial needs to download the version S software, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the zerogps.com website. Over here, you'll come to the shop option, come down to software updates. You'll click on that. It will bring you here to the zero-off software update Rev S, and you click on that. And this is going to bring you to a page, right here is where the head unit model number is going to be, that'll be, when you take the picture on your diagnostic screen, that'll be the second number. So you've got a model number, which is specific to each brand of boat. And then you've got a head unit serial number, which is specific to each individual boat. Then you put in your boat make, boat model. You have to check this box right here that says you have a compatible head unit and GPS puck. And what that means is the Rev S is only compatible with head units using the new 3-event GPS antenna puck, which is also known as the eControls single puck. And it requires an ECOM reprogramming kit. And those kits basically include the ECOM cable. So we've discussed that. We will be discussing that when we do the installation of the software onto your computer. If you ideally can borrow one, an ECOM cable, that's great. If not, if you're a dealer, you should have one of these, and you can come on here and purchase. Okay, this is a tutorial for how to install the Aquastar display software and the eControls ECOM cable driver setup if you have a new PC or you've never loaded any, I'm going to call it eControls software onto your computer before. So the first thing I've done is I've loaded 3 files onto my computer so that with the intention of, when I'm done, being able to update my zero-off head unit to the 2019 zero-off version S software. So the first thing I did was I downloaded the 3 files I need. This is called a MOTE file, and that comes from the fact that it's a .mote file, and this is the version S for the boat I'm going to upload. I've got an eControls ECOM cable driver setup, and I've got the Aquastar display software. Now, if you're a dealer or somebody who has worked with an ECOM cable before, you will not need this first step of putting on the cable driver setup. If you've already got a computer that's Windows-based PC that you have connected to a boat using an ECOM cable before, you don't need this first step. But this computer has never had any of the software put on, so I'm going to load the eControls ECOM cable driver setup by double-clicking on here. You can see I've got 2 files in here. I'm going to double-click on it. It doesn't matter, it's the same file, I just doubled it up in there. The computer's going to ask me if I will want to allow this to make changes to my device. Yes, I do. After I do that, it's going to come up with an install wizard, and I'm simply going to go through and click next, and I'm good with it putting it in the C drive, so I click next, and then finally I hit install. It's going to go very quickly through here. When it's done, it's going to give me the option to finish. I do want to install, and I am going to finish. Okay, and we now have the EECOM cable driver set up so that my computer can talk to the boat through the EECOM cable. Now the other file I need to load on here is the Aquastar display software. So again, I'm going to double click that. When I open it up, I get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. Okay, and what I want is the last option here that says setup, and the type is an application. You can see right above it is a setup that's a configuration of settings, but I want the last option, setup application, and I'm going to double click that, and I'm going to go through essentially the same process I just went with the EECOM cable driver. It's going to ask me if I will allow it to make changes. Yes, I do. The wizard comes up. I'm going to click next. Can I put it in the C folder, C drive? Yes, I can. Next. Next again. And the green bar is going to come across the screen, installing the software. Any second. But I want to take you through the actual time that it'll take to actually do this so that you can see that, you know, sometimes these Windows computers, they kind of stop and think and they're working their way through it. So we're just going to let it go through here. So while the computer's thinking about doing the job here, when we're done with this, we will then have, I'm going to show you how to make a, drop what we call a shortcut onto your desktop. Okay, so here we go now. The green bar is going through, copying the new files, and it has been successfully installed. So I'm going to hit finish, and it says you must restart your system for the configuration changes made to take effect. So I am going to click yes and go ahead and restart the computer right now. Okay, so we're back now after restarting the computer, and what I want to do is, as you can see over here, we've got these app shortcuts on the desktop. So again, if you're a personal consumer, you're only going to be doing this once every 3 or 4 years. We'll go through, I'll show you where your Aquastar display software is now. If you're a dealer or a service tech, I'm going to show you how to create a shortcut. And basically what we do is we come here and we go to the Windows section here. I am going to go to the C drive right here, double click on that, and I've got this file now called Aquastar Display that we downloaded and installed. So I'm going to double click that, and when I do, you can see I've got all these files that came. The one I'm interested in is, it's got the E next to it here for E controls, and it says Aquastar DIS, and that's Aquastar Display, and that's an application. And if I double click on that, it's going to open that program. And if I wanted to make a shortcut here, I can hit the control button and click on it, or I can right click. Let's see, I'll right click and it's come down here to the option that says create a shortcut. I can click on that and you'll see that the Aquastar Display shortcut appears right here. I can press and hold that and drag it onto my desktop, and it is now on my desktop. So again, if you're a service tech or a dealer and you want easier access to it, I recommend doing that. Otherwise, if you're a, again, just a consumer that's wanting to do an upgrade, you can just come right here to the C drive, the Aquastar Display folder, then you're going to choose the logo with the E that says Aquastar or AQST _ DIS. We're going to double click that, and when I do, it's going to bring me to this area right here where I'm going to put in a password. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to step out to the boat. I'm going to show you how to plug in the EECOM cable. I'm going to show you how we put in our password and the process, and we'll go ahead and update a boat. So now that we have our software downloaded onto the computer, we've got that ready to go, we've got our ZeroOff serial number, gone on the website, we've got our password. So the next step is that we need to hook up the EECOM cable. And your EECOM cable is going to have a marine end on it like this, and I'm looking for essentially the connection point to that. And on most of the manufacturers, you'll find it in two places. One of them, it'll be tied to the back of the motor back here, or typically they'll run it down this driver's side of the motor and it'll be under a plastic cowling. But you can always find it as the wires come off near the ECM here, and when you find it, there's a cap that goes over it to protect it, the pins in there. And at Mastercraft we have this little plastic latch here, so what you do is you're not going to pull that out, but you're just going to slide it up. So it only slides up about 1/8 of an inch, then you press it so this pulls apart, and in there is the money section, if you will. And we're going to take our EECOM cable, it only goes in one way, and we're going to go till we hear a click, and then we can set that down, and now we'll move on to the computer work. Okay, so we have now gotten to the point where we're ready to load the mote file, which is for the ZeroOff head unit to do the upgrade, onto the actual head unit. So we have gotten our password, we have downloaded the software onto our computer, we've hooked up our EECOM cable, and this is very important. You have to key the boat on. You don't have to have the boat running, but the key has to be on, so that like your screen would come up, or that basically the ECM needs to be active, because we are going to talk to the head unit through the ECM. So once I've done that, I am going to come over here, and if I was a service tech and I did the shortcut, I would double click there. Otherwise, I will come down here to my Windows folder. It's going to open up. I am going to choose this PC, the drive C, and here's my Aquastar display software in my program files. And right here is this, I've got this green E, and it says Aquastar or AQST_DIS, and it's an application. I'm going to double click on that, and this box is going to open up, and this password will be given to you through the website. And the easiest thing to do here is to turn your caps lock on. And what you want to do then is put in the 16-digit passcode. And when you put in the first 4 characters, it'll automatically move to the next box so that you can continue to input. You don't have to toggle over. And the one thing to be careful of here is you can get the letter O or the number 0. And the number 0 is skinny and long, like it looks like on your keyboard, and the O is more circular. And fortunately, I did not get either of those. Once I'm done with that, putting in the password, I check this single serial number access, and then I'm going to put in the serial number for the head unit, which on my particular boat is 001513, and I'll come over here and click OK. So you can see that we are connected at 19,200 BPS, and it should turn green over here and say connected, which we've got. I'm then going to come up here to the word File, click on that, come down to Reprogram Target. I'm going to click on that. This box is going to come up, and now I've already done a test on this, so it came straight to my downloads folder. But the first time you open this, it may or may not, go straight to your downloads folder. But if you'll remember, when you download all your software, you can either drop it on your desktop, or for me, I left it in the downloads folder. You just want to make sure you know where it's at so you can find it back. And what I'm looking for is this file right here, the E1886031A. That's for the Mastercraft head unit, with the _S, meaning version S, and the 100 stands for the first version of this that we have done. So I will highlight that, my light blue there, come down and click Load. It'll ask me to perform a standard application code download. Yes. Continue with the download. Yes. And you'll notice that I'm using the mouse to move the arrow to the yes or the no or the quit or the confirm, and then clicking on it. And the reason I'm doing that is in some of the eControls software, as a safety situation, just pressing the enter key will actually go to the where you're basically quitting the program, or you're choosing not to take an action, and that's put in there basically to protect some if you accidentally hit it or whatever. So for me personally, just to avoid that frustration, sometimes I'll always use the arrow to go to the tab I want to select, and then use the mouse and click on it. So as you can see, we're 55% through the download progress here. It's a fairly quick process. I'm going to have you I'll stay here with you, and you can watch it go all the way through. When it's done, it's going to basically tell us that all programming was successful. At that point in time, you can close the program. You would disconnect your ECOM cable. If you're not using the boat, make sure you turn your key back off so you don't run your battery down. If you're going to use the boat, close the motorbox hatch and go enjoy the new version S. So as we see it close up here, we get the beep, and there all memory is programmed successfully. I click OK, and we are done. And then from here, I can just come up, close the program, and I'll disconnect the ECOM cable and go. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope everything's nice and clear for you. If you have any questions, please contact us at ZeroOff, or you can email me or call me directly, and all that information will be included with the files. Thank you.